I think the one thing that I'll say that the pandemic has also brought into sharp relief is that people going through this now, there's a couple of different types. So there's a bunch of different types, but there are two categories in which you can put a lot of people. One, for whom the pandemic is the worst thing that's ever happened to them, and the other for when it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And what's very interesting is I'm finding that even though you expect people for whom are now taking a second punch to the gut, they've had this terrible thing and now they've got the pandemic. What's odd is I think I'm finding that individuals for whom this pandemic is not the worst thing that's ever happened to them are actually dealing with it better. And I think that says a lesson about the things that hurt us the most in the world. And maybe the best way I can talk about Anastasia's death is by saying this to people. There is a peace and a strength that comes from knowing that the worst thing that's ever happened to you, or the worst thing that could ever happen to you, has already happened. And there's a strength that comes from that. But even if the worst thing that could ever happen to you hasn't, I think it's wise to remember that the things that bring you closest to breaking are often the things that eventually do keep you from breaking.